Hello my PC students. This video is going to go over how to do percentages of marks. So you know when you're in your math classes, they weight each test as 15% or 20%. That's what we're going to do today. So first of all, I want you to go to File, Open, and go to Browse. And I want you to go to your classes drive. So go to your classes drive. I'll go to my classes drive. Go to your PC folder and go to your teaching documents. And we want to open up the one called Business English Typewell. So hold on here. Business English Typewell. Remember, point to the green green X here and left double click. All right, first of all, let's go to View. Let's go to Zoom and put it up to 140 so that we can see it reasonably. All right, and now we want to save it. So we want to go File, Save As, go to Browse. You want to go to your drive, so go to your U drive. I'll go to my U drive. Go to your Print.com folder and go to your Excel folder. All right, click in the file name box, press Home, type in your name, and today is OCT 1, or whatever date is current for you is fine, and save it. All right, now I'm going to go to Home here, and I see it's all Arial. So click in cell A1, hold down your Shift key, and click in about M17 like that. And let's change it to Calibri, and let's change it to size 12. Okay, that looks a lot better. And go Control S to save. So in the first one, here is, you have assignment number 1. Here are the marks for each student. Now, it's weighted at 15%. So how much will you get out of, how many marks will you get out of 15? All right, you have to take equals, and you have to take, there's your mark of 80, times your 15%. And every student, every test here is weighted at 15%, so it has to be absolute. All right, press Enter, and you get 12 marks out of 15. And you grab your fill handle, and you drag down. All right, assignment number 2, your mark was 76, so equals, take your mark, times, and this assignment's worth 20%, and of course you know it has to be absolute, so you press F4 and you get 15 marks out of 20. On the third assignment you only got 58, and it's worth 40%, so you get equals 58, or your G6, times your 40% absolute. So on that assignment you got 23 out of 40. Barely a pass, not a good mark. Okay, 75% is worth 75, your mark is 75, it's worth 25%, so equals 75 times your 25% absolute. All right, press Enter, and now double click on your fill handle and fill down. So what will be your final mark? All right, go Control S to save. Your final mark will be equals the sum. So put in sum, open your parentheses. You got 12 marks out of the first one, 12 out of 15, comma, because you're doing individuals here. 15 out of 20 you got, and then you got 23 out of 40, and you got 19. That's it. Press Enter, and your final mark was 69.15. And I double clicked to calculate all my final marks. Now you were also asked to find the average mark. All right, now the average mark, you want to look at your original marks. So equals average. Open your parentheses, and you want to take, you got 80 on the first test, then comma, you got 76, comma, then you got 58, comma, and then you got 75. And look how Excel puts them all different colors, so you can't go wrong. It shows you exactly what you're choosing. All right, so the average mark was 72.25. Now, when it comes to marks, I'm going to say we're going to put them all at one decimal place. So click in cell C6, hold down your shift key and click in L14 and go and change it so that you have them all at 1 decimal point. And this way they're all the same. They're consistent. And go Control S to save. Okay, now the question asks you, we did the final mark, we did the average mark. Now it says find the highest mark. All right, so we're going to put in here highest mark, and then it asks us to find the lowest mark, and then it asked us to find the average mark. So we're going to put in average mark. And I'm going to just change this one here and put a capital M on it. Okay, so now we want to know for the class, and you always want to know who got the highest mark, who got the lowest mark. Now remember, highest, the largest, the best is equals max, M-A-X, and what does that stand for? Maximum. All right, what are my numbers? I'm going to click in cell C6 and drag down to C14. Those are the marks, and I want to find the highest mark. The highest mark there is 88. All right, I want to find the lowest mark, so equals minimum, the lowest mark, the smallest mark. All right, and now select all your values and press enter, and the lowest mark on that test was 50. Now, what's the average mark? Equals average. Okay, open your parentheses and take all my marks and find the average. And we found the average at 70.8. Okay, so you found that for test number 1. Now what we want to do is we want to drag it all the way across until we come to the average mark. So here we have the highest for the out of 15, highest out of 20, but here's the highest for the test. And here's the highest and the lowest and the average, and they're all 1 decimal place. We're consistent throughout. Okay, now another thing says the number, count the number of students in the class, okay? And count the number of papers, or tests I could say, tests that were marked. All right. Now we're going to widen the column here so that that fits in. Okay, so now the number of students in the class. You'll remember this because you want to count all the students. And remember, when you want to count all, it's to count all means count text and numbers, count A. So equals count A. Open your parentheses, and we want to count. Now you could count their last names or their first names. It doesn't matter. It's the same difference. All right, we have 9 students in the class. All right, now the number of tests that were marked. Okay, I'm going to go here, and tests are numbers, values. So I'm going to put in equals count because I only want to count values. So I'm going to count here from assignment 1 down. All right, so I have 9 tests that were marked, and I have 9 students, so that's perfect. But what if I had a blank cell? I only marked 8 tests, so it tells me right away that there's a test missing. If I put the mark back in, then I'm back up that I marked 9 tests. And if I copied this, I could find out how many tests did I mark here, how many tests did I mark on assignment 3, and how many did I mark on assignment 4. And the same thing, if I remove a mark, then it tells me I only have 8 marks. So that's the difference. This is the number of students. Count A because you're counting text. Here you're counting values. Okay, how many tests were marked? And so as long as you've got 999, you know that all tests have been handed in and all of them have been marked. Okay, we will stop there. I'm not going to do your headers and footers. You know how to do that. So I'll stop here.